Good morning and welcome to today's 5 with Fitz. I'm Keith Fitz-Gerald. Thank you, as always, for joining me. So let's get to it. The S&P 500 hit a fresh record this morning, but has since rolled a skosh red, meaning to the downside as I record this. Now, the best companies in the world continue to power up. The path of least resistance is still higher, and importantly, innovation is accelerating. Of course, investors tapped into all three of those things are making out like proverbial bandits, and I hope that you're one of them. Why? Simple. Remember this. Missing opportunity is always more expensive than trying to avoid risks you can't control. Here's my playbook today. Number one, let's start with the big one. 100 billion reasons why every AI doubter just got left in the dust. Now, you might have seen the headlines yesterday. nvidia just dropped $100 billion to tie up with OpenAI. Not surprisingly, the entire chip sector worldwide lit up like a big old Las Vegas neon sign. In fact, it sparked a global chip rally that I think has got some serious legs. So, here's an investing tip in this department. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt, FUD, are normal. So don't let that derail your investing goals, your plans, and your actions. There is an entirely new generation of millionaires being minted right now. Number two, a street high for Palantir? Please! Anyway, not to make fun of this because I don't have all the answers and I never will, but the social media squad is going bananas this morning over a new street high of $215 from Bank of America this morning, up from $180. Well, you, the 5 with Fitz family, and the 1 bar ahead families know better. Here's what I actually said a month ago on Fox Business. You can watch that video elsewhere on on YouTube, on the channel, and click the link in the written version of the 5 with Fitz. And when it comes to investing, you know what to do. And if for some reason you don't, I'd love to toss my hat in the ring. The 1 bar ahead family knew about Palantir on day one and long before most investors and the street could spell the company's name. So let that sink in. It is still very early days in my humble opinion. Number 3 today, Kenvue, buy, sell, or hold. Well, shares of Kenvue, the maker of Tylenol, bounced 6% today after hitting a record lows yesterday. Now, the move, of course, comes after headlines tied Tylenol use during pregnancy to autism, a claim regulators stress isn't backed by scientific evidence. Yeah, here we go. The FDA says it will update labels to reflect a possible link between acetaminophen and neurological conditions during pregnancy, but has emphasized no causal relationship exists. The WHO and European regulators agree there's nothing new here. Well, let me put it to you this way. They said the same thing, almost playbook for playbook, about tobacco. Now, I'd rather own companies without the baggage and the drama, frankly. One of my faves in the medical space, for example, is pushing ahead with all sorts of innovative therapies, robust pipelines, and dependable revenue streams, and spinning off incredible dividends too. Now, it's returned 29.43% year-to-date versus the S&P 500, which has turned in 14.78%. Kenvue, meanwhile, is down 15.35% year-to-date. Hopefully, you're on track with this in your own portfolio or thinking similarly, right? Consistent income and growth can make for mighty good returns, particularly if you've got the confidence and a rock-solid investing plan needed to ride through the short-term noise that trips up a lot of folks. Here's an investing tip from this department. Many, if not most, investors dramatically underestimate the power of dividends when it comes to building wealth. So, predictably, many fall behind because they're only thinking about income when growth often goes hand in hand. They're not mutually exclusive. You can have both. So it's important you recognize that and begin investing accordingly. Number 4 today is Boeing bouncing back. Now, I love an underdog, always have. Case in point, Boeing just locked down a whopper of a deal. Uzbekistan Airways signed for up to 22 Dreamliners in a deal that is apparently worth more than $8 billion, the largest commercial aircraft agreement ever in Central Asia. And if my memory's correct, it's 14 firm orders for 787s plus options for 8 more. Now, I still don't like Boeing stock as an investment, but Leap's calls could be an interesting trade. Why do I say that? Because Leap's calls are a type of option that require a fraction of the capital to buy. They limit the downside risk and potentially give you tremendous upside potential if Boeing does take off. Pun absolutely intended. Number 5 today, This has been on my mind for some time. What the H-1B visa wars could mean for your money. I'm trying to sort this out. I'm watching the situation very, very carefully. U.S. President Donald Trump has assessed a $100,000 per year fee on the specialist visas in an attempt to keep jobs in the United States. Now, word from my friends in low places is that Silicon Valley is already considering moving high-paying jobs overseas in response, or not bringing them here in the first place. Now, the media is beginning to pick up on this too, so there's something here, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire, or whatever that saying is. Now, as always, I will leave the politics to everybody else. My concern is that this policy backfires and in doing so negatively impacts tech innovation and investment potential. Here's something to think about. 6 out of 10 of the Magnificent 10 tech company CEOs came to the U.S. initially on some form of visa. Sundar Pichai of Alphabet came on a student F1, later became H-1B early in his career. Satya Nadella of Microsoft, student path, later switched to an H-1B, famously gave up a green card, by the way, so his wife could join him. Elon Musk of Tesla came into the U.S. on a student visa, later worked on an H-1B. Details differ by source, but multiple reports confirmed the student H-1B path. Hock Tan of Broadcom arrived in 71 on a student visa, MIT scholarship. Jensen Huang of nvidia immigrated as a child, age 9, with family in 1973, but not an H-1B, still a visa. Lisa Su of AMD immigrated as a toddler, age 3, with parents, so not an H-1B, but still a visa. So, think about this, because there could be unintended ramifications. Bottom line today, super simple. People are so busy trying to predict the unpredictable that they forget to think about the profitable, even if it's right in front of them. Just saying. Anyway, as always, let's make it a great day. Thank you for joining me. You got this, I promise, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.